He looked at me, his eyes holding a depth I couldn't quite fathom. The air in our living room, once filled with shared laughter and whispered dreams, was now thick with the unspoken. I had just confessed. The words, dripping with betrayal, had tumbled out of my mouth, and I braced myself for the storm. I expected shouting, tears, maybe even the shattering of a glass. I had rehearsed this moment in my mind 1,000 times, preparing for the explosion, for the righteous anger he was entitled to. But it never came. Instead, he just sat there on the edge of our worn-out couch, his hands resting calmly on his knees. He looked peaceful. It was the most unsettling thing I had ever seen. "Okay," he said, his voice even and steady. Just that one word. It hung in the air, a stark contrast to the chaos I had just unleashed. I waited for more, for the follow-up, the "how could you?" or "why?" But silence stretched between us, taut and unnerving. "Is that all you have to say?" I finally blurted out, my own voice trembling with a mixture of guilt and confusion. "Aren't you angry? Aren't you going to yell at me?" He turned his head slightly, his gaze shifting to the window, where the last light of day was painting the sky in shades of orange and purple. "Yelling won't change what's happened, will it?" he responded softly. "It won't undo the choices that were made." His calmness was a mirror, and in it I saw the ugliness of my own actions reflected back at me, magnified. My carefully constructed justifications, my self-pity, it all crumbled under the weight of his quiet dignity. I had wanted a fight, a dramatic scene to somehow validate the turmoil inside me, to make it a shared burden. But he refused to participate in my drama. He was giving me nothing to push against, no emotional leverage. The next few days were a blur of surreal civility. He packed a bag, not with frantic energy but with a methodical precision that was almost surgical. He folded his shirts neatly, placed his toothbrush in its travel case, and gathered his books. He moved through the house we had built together as if he were a polite guest who had overstayed his welcome. He spoke to me when necessary, about bills and logistics, his tone never rising above a conversational level. "Where will you go?" I asked, following him into the hallway like a lost child. He paused, his hand on the doorknob. "I'll stay with my brother for a while. I need some space to think." He looked at me then, and for the first time I saw a flicker of something in his eyes. It wasn't anger, but a profound sadness, a deep, weary disappointment that was far worse than any rage. "I thought we had something real," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I guess I was wrong." It was in that moment that I finally broke. The tears I had expected from him streamed down my own face. I had wanted to see him shatter, but instead, he had shown me the pieces of my own broken integrity. His composure wasn't weakness. It was a strength I couldn't comprehend. It was the strength of someone who knew their own worth, someone who wouldn't allow another person's betrayal to define them or destroy their peace. I watched him walk out the door, his back straight, his steps firm. He didn't look back. The front door clicked shut, the sound echoing in the silent house, a final, definitive period on a chapter of our lives. I was left alone in the wreckage I had created, not with a screaming, broken man, but with the haunting memory of his unshakable calm. It was a calm that screamed louder than any shout, a silence that was more damning than any accusation. I had expected a tempest, a hurricane of emotion that would tear us both apart. What I got was a quiet, devastating stillness. He didn't break. He simply left. And in his wake, he left me wondering, not about his pain, but about my own character. He left me to confront the person I had become, alone in the quiet. His strength became the catalyst for my own painful self-reflection. It wasn't the ending I had anticipated, but it was the one I deserved. Sometimes, the most powerful reaction is no reaction at all. His refusal to engage in the chaos was a testament to his self-respect. He chose peace over drama, dignity over despair, and that quiet exit, That calm departure left a more permanent mark on me than any heated argument ever could. It forced me to look at myself, truly look, and begin the long, difficult journey of understanding why I had made the choices I did. He didn't just walk away from me. He walked towards his own healing, leaving me to find my own path out of the mess I had made. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please consider liking the video and subscribing to our channel for more content that explores the complex facets of human relationships. We appreciate your support.